Imagine this, you're speeding for hours across endless expanses where you won't meet a soul or see a single building, just kilometers of silence. What makes entire states in America remain nearly empty? The reasons might surprise you. In some states, the cold is so extreme that boiling water instantly turns into icy dust. In others, economic troubles have wiped out jobs almost overnight. These places once thrived, but now they resemble abandoned ghost towns. The open spaces might seem like a symbol of peace. But what if such isolation has a destructive effect on mental health? What if entire towns are disappearing faster than we realize? From unbearable frosts to extreme poverty, each of these states has its own reasons for mass population decline. Stay with us because some of these places will shock you, and if you live in one of these states, you might be among its last inhabitants. Let's explore the 10 states Americans are leaving the fastest. Number 10. Vermont. You might not believe it, but this state has been emptying out for years, and the trend shows no signs of stopping. Vermont is famous for its picturesque landscapes, maple syrup, and charming small towns that should, in theory, attract people. So why is its population shrinking? First, Vermont is known for its high cost of living. Steep property taxes and limited career opportunities make life here tough unless you work remotely or have a family business. Don't forget about the harsh winters. Vermont is notorious for heavy snowfall, and temperatures can stay below freezing for months. Imagine enduring long blizzards, icy roads, and dark, cold winters. It's a serious challenge for anyone. Here's something interesting. There's a noticeable exodus of young people. The lack of big cities and entertainment hubs drives the youth to seek opportunities elsewhere. The result? An aging population and dwindling job opportunities. Still, Vermont remains one of the safest and most scenic corners of America. It's a paradise for those who value peace and nature. But for most people, Vermont is simply too expensive, too cold, and too slow-paced. Before we continue, hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. It helps us create more content like this. Number 9. Wyoming's. Imagine your nearest neighbor being miles away. Sounds like solitude, right? But this isolation comes at a price. Though Wyoming boasts stunning landscapes and endless open spaces, life here doesn't attract many people. Wyoming is the least populous state in the US, with just 580,000 residents, despite being larger in area than the entire United Kingdom. Why is that? It's all about the lack of jobs, brutal climate, and remoteness from major cities. Despite low taxes and vast amounts of land, finding stable work here is nearly impossible. Wyoming's economy heavily depends on coal, oil, and gas, but these industries are in decline. When jobs disappear, young people leave, leaving behind an aging population. As for the climate, Wyoming's winters are a true test of endurance. Temperatures often drop below zero, and snowstorms can block roads for days. A single blizzard can bury entire towns, cut off supplies, and force people to stay indoors. Wyoming's nature, while breathtaking, isn't without danger. The state is home to Yellowstone National Park, which sits atop a supervolcano. Though an eruption is unlikely anytime soon, the mere presence of such a threat is unsettling. Still, Wyoming appeals to those who love solitude and outdoor adventures. But for most, the state is simply too empty and isolated to call home. Number 8. South Dakota. Imagine a state that's home to one of America's most famous landmarks, yet continues to lose its population. South Dakota is the land of Mount Rushmore, the Black Hills, and stunning prairies. Yet despite all this, it remains one of the least populated states. Why is that? First, brutal winters, low wages, and a lack of urban development. Though tourism brings in revenue, it's seasonal. Outside major cities like Sioux Falls and Rapid City, jobs are scarce and wages are often low. The climate doesn't help either. Freezing winters and scorching summers, blizzards, tornadoes, and droughts make life in South Dakota tough. Despite no income tax and a low cost of living, young people don't stick around. Without big cities, thriving industries, or nightlife, the state is simply too boring for many. For those who love peace and nature, South Dakota is ideal, but for most, it's just too empty to call home. Number 7. North Dakota. Which US state has more cows than people? That's right, North Dakota. Vast plains, endless horizons, and one of the lowest crime rates in the country. But why are there so few people here? First, the weather. North Dakota's winters are among the harshest in the nation, with temperatures plunging to -60 degrees F, -51 degrees C. Blizzards can bury entire towns, and icy winds freeze skin in minutes. Next, isolation. Even the largest city, Fargo, has only about 130,000 people. Beyond small towns, you'll find miles of emptiness, great for those who love quiet, but for most, it's just loneliness. Then there's work. The oil boom once drew people here, but as the industry slowed, opportunities dwindled. Young people leave for more developed states and the population ages. Despite low taxes, affordable housing, and friendly communities, North Dakota can't retain people. The extreme cold, lack of entertainment, and sheer isolation make it one of America's emptiest states. Number 6. Montana. Imagine a state so vast that Virginia, South Carolina, and Pennsylvania could fit inside, yet its population barely reaches 1 million. That's Montana. Mountains, open spaces, and breathtaking national parks, Montana seems like the perfect place to live, but in reality, it's far from it. Why? The main reason is that Montana is one of the most remote states. If you love solitude, you'll find plenty here. In some villages, the nearest store or hospital could be hours away. If you get stranded on the road, help is hard to come by. Then there's the brutal winter. Blizzards -30 degrees C, degrees F temperatures, and icy roads that last for months. Montana's winter means your eyelashes freeze the moment you step outside. Sometimes snow piles so high you have to dig tunnels just to leave your house. And when spring comes, floods follow. Summer brings its own challenges. Wildfires turn the sky orange for weeks. The wildlife isn't friendly either. Grizzlies aren't a myth. These massive predators live near humans. If you don't mind encountering a 600-pound bear, Montana's for you. The economy isn't great either. Finding well-paying jobs is tough unless you work in agriculture, tourism, or remotely. Wages here are below the national average and opportunities are scarce. Real estate is another issue. Some land sells for pennies because no one wants to live there, while prices skyrocket near national parks due to wealthy investors. This makes housing unaffordable for locals. Montana is a true paradise for those who love wilderness, where humans take a backseat to nature. But for most, the state is too remote, wild, and harsh for comfortable living. Number 5. West Virginia. West Virginia is one of the states losing population faster than most others. Once thriving thanks to its coal industry, it is now slowly turning into a forgotten place. What is the reason? The problem lies in the decline of the economy. The coal industry, which was the foundation of the state's prosperity, is now on the verge of disappearing. Thousands of people have lost their jobs, and new industries have not developed. This has led to rising poverty. West Virginia is considered one of the poorest states in the U.S. It has low wages, high unemployment, and limited career opportunities. Many people live paycheck to paycheck, seeing no way out of poverty. The state's geography doesn't help either. Despite the beauty of its mountains, they create challenges for road construction and infrastructure development. Many small towns remain isolated, as if stuck in the past. Healthcare problems make the situation worse. West Virginia ranks among the most underdeveloped states in terms of healthcare. High rates of obesity, cardiovascular diseases, and the opioid epidemic make it one of the most troubled states. West Virginia could be a paradise for those who love solitude and mountain landscapes. But for most people, this state seems like a dead end they want to escape. Number 4. Nebraska. Have you heard the phrase Nebraskans use to describe their state, the middle of nowhere? Nebraska is a quiet, friendly, and affordable state, yet despite this, people continue to leave. Why is that? First, Nebraska is one of the most monotonous states in the U.S. There are no mountains, oceans, or major landmarks, just endless cornfields and small towns. For those seeking career growth and entertainment, Nebraska is a dead end. Additionally, Nebraska has extreme weather. Summers often bring scorching heat, winters are freezing, and spring brings tornadoes. Nebraska lies in Tornado Alley, where destructive storms can wipe out entire towns in minutes. What about jobs? Outside of agriculture, there are few employment opportunities. In larger cities like Omaha and Lincoln, jobs can be found, but beyond them, vacancies are scarce. Young people leave for more developed states, leaving behind an aging population. Crime in Nebraska is low and housing is affordable, but that's not enough tea. Number 3. Alaska. You might be surprised, but many people move to Alaska only to leave after a few years. Alaska is a natural paradise, home to majestic mountains, wildlife, and vast wilderness. So why do people decide to leave? The first reason is the extreme cold. Winters here are long and harsh, with temperatures dropping to -50 degrees F, -45 degrees C. In some regions, the sun doesn't rise for months. Imagine waking up at noon to complete darkness outside. The second reason is isolation. Though Alaska is huge, its population is less than 750,000. Many towns and villages are accessible only by air or water. Even in major cities like Anchorage and Fairbanks, the nearest big city may be thousands of miles away. In emergencies, getting help can be difficult. The wildlife isn't just for postcards either. Bears wander into residential areas, moose stand in the middle of roads, and wolves are not uncommon. Living in Alaska requires constant vigilance. Even if climate and wildlife don't scare you, the economy remains a major factor. While jobs in oil and fishing can pay well, the cost of living is high. Food, housing, and utilities are more expensive than in most other states. For adventure seekers, Alaska is heaven. But for most, this state is too cold, remote, and expensive for permanent living. Number 2, Kansas. Have you ever wondered why Kansas often goes unnoticed? This state is the geographic center of the country. It has friendly people, affordable housing, and a strong farming culture. So why is Kansas losing residents? First, boring landscapes. Kansas has no mountains, no ocean, and no major natural landmarks. It's just millions of acres of farmland. Traveling through Kansas means seeing the same views over and over. Second, extreme weather. Summers bring unbearable heat, winters are freezing with strong winds, and spring is tornado season. Kansas sits in the heart of Tornado Alley, where destructive storms can wipe out entire towns. Kansas economy, mostly agriculture, aviation, and manufacturing. For farmers and factory workers, it's a suitable state. But for those seeking careers in tech, medicine, or finance, opportunities are scarce. Kansas also lacks an active urban life. There are no major professional sports teams, no huge metropolises or world-famous landmarks. Even Topeka, the state capital, is unfamiliar to many Americans. As a result, young people leave and urban areas grow emptier. Number 1, Mississippi. You might be surprised, but Mississippi is considered the poorest, least healthy, and one of the most troubled states in America. Despite its historical significance, warm southern hospitality, and musical heritage, the state faces a mass exodus. Why? First, a terrible economy. The median income here is the lowest in the nation. Well-paying jobs are rare, and many people live paycheck to paycheck. Industrial and business development is slow, pushing young people to leave in search of better opportunities. Second, a poor education system. School funding is inadequate, and academic performance is among the worst in the country. For families concerned about their children's future, Mississippi is not the best place. Healthcare. Mississippi has high rates of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Many areas lack good hospitals, and access to medical care is limited and expensive. The climate. Summer heat and humidity are unbearable, and hurricanes can destroy entire towns in hours. Flooding is frequent, posing a serious problem for locals. Despite these challenges, Mississippi isn't just a bad place. It has a rich culture, delicious cuisine, and genuine Southern hospitality. But for most, the low standard of living, poverty, and lack of opportunities make it a place people want to leave.